Hi, William. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thanks. How's it going?
Oh, it's amazing now that you're here, so that's fantastic.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Can you see us all fine? Can you
Yeah, I
see?
can see you all fine. Yeah.
Oh,
How are
awesome.
you guys doing?
Oh, I've got them all muted, but they're like chomping at the bit. They really want to ask you some questions.
Okay, cool, fantastic. I'm really excited.
So today we've got people, your fans from. We've got some people from Canada, the Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia. Um, yeah, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Well, thank you so much, Belinda, for putting this together. And thank you to everyone for being here. I'm so excited. It's so fun. We're going to have a really good time. And feel free to ask me anything. Just keep it PG. You know, we're talking about children's films here, so everyone has to keep it PG. But other than that, yeah, I'm very excited to answer all your questions, and I'm totally available. So let's rock and roll.
Awesome. So the first question is from one of your fans in Canada, and Vanessa has been up super early because it's currently 4 a.m.
Oh my god,
so
you get a high five.
She is a dedicated fan. So Vanessa, what's your question for William?
Hi, William.
Hi.
Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's okay. I haven't gone to bed, so it's fine.
Oh my god, you're a super.
Thank you. So my question is, the Chronicles of Narnia franchise has a large and passionate fan base, even after 15 years since the film's first release.
Mm.
And I was wondering what the most surprising or memorable thing to come out of this has been.
Well, I don't know where you're from, but I'm from a small town in England. It's like a little village hamlet. It's very small. It's very sweet. So I never thought. You know, I always dreamed about something amazing happening in my life. I didn't know it would be something like Narnia. And along the way, I met a lot of different people. I didn't know the film was even going to be as widely received and loved as it has been. But I met some of the royal family in England, and that was really pinch me kind of moments. You know, I remember I've met the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh at the Voyage of the Dawn Treader premiere. I met Prince Charles and Camilla at the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe premiere. And it's just moments like that when you realise how fortunate you are, you know, how you know, transcendent these films are, how much the stories mean to people. And I think for me, just having met members of the royal family was really kind of crazy, especially when you see them on the news every day and in the newspapers. And then I obviously went on and played one of them in a TV show later on, so that was quite strange. But yeah, no, that was probably one of the most incredible things that happened on the film.
Great, thank you so much. That's
no problem.
Amazing.
Okay, cool.
So William, I imagine with your profession, it can be busy and stressful at times. What are some of the things that you do to help you relax and unwind?
I don't know. I like hanging out with my family. I like to hang out, and I just like playing games. I don't know what you guys are like, but if I can find a game to like play or something competitive to do. In fact, it's really got to a point where my family just won't play games with me anymore. My sister won't play tennis with me, really. My brother won't play any games with me. So I just really try to like source people out to play games. In fact, I have a friendship with a guy, and all we really do is just sort of competitive sports together. So that doesn't sound very relaxing or very like unwinding, but to me it is. And I absolutely I'll just do it. I play like probably throw the stone down the street with somebody if I can play that, you know. So I love games.
You sound like you should actually come to my work. Well, where I work, we're a very competitive bunch. We had ice curling 2 days ago. It wasn't real ice, but we always end up with someone with broken bones. So I hear what you're saying about being competitive.
I'm there. I am there. I'm there, B. I'm there.
Brilliant. So your next question we have is from Shyla. Now, Shayla. She actually has an Instagram page called William Moseley Fans, and it's got
I follow Shayla.
Yes, it's got 10,000 followers, which is amazing.
Respect.
Yay! So Shayla, what is your question for William?
Hello. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for following me.
Oh yeah, of course. What do you mean?
And how do you feel that the Narnia fandom is still active? And what is your next movie project?
What was the first question, Shayla?
How do you feel that the Narnia fandom is still active?
The Narnia fans?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really so grateful to people. I cannot, the films, I don't know, the films seem to have really, and the books seem to really mean a lot to people, and they seem to really, people seem to really love them. So I can't thank people enough for that. And I think a lot of the reason why the films have done really well and people have liked the books and things, it's just because on set, the four children that we all got on really well, and we all played tricks on each other, and we all, made fun of each other, and we all just had a lot of games going on all the time. That if it was a mind game, Anna would usually win. If it was some sort of competitive psychological, card game, I'd usually lose and Anna would win. But if it was like a basketball game we'd have going on, I'd usually win. So we had lots of things going on like that. So I think it sort of created a bond for us, and Georgie is really sparky and fun, and really, she was, for an 8-year-old, she was incredibly bright. She was writing her own books and things. So we all just really had a laugh and really connected. And I think the fact that we just loved making the film and the fact that we just had fun and everybody there had fun, I think it just made for a good movie. And I think that's kind of true to life. When things are kind of flowing and they're fun and they're easy, you can produce great things. It doesn't have to be hard all the time. It doesn't have to be tough. Your life, your career doesn't have to be oh my God, I'm really struggling to get through this. It can be fun, and you can get great results. So the second answer to your question was, what's my next film? Well, if this happens, hopefully it will, I'm going to be heading out to New Mexico from London in a few weeks to make a film called Land of Dreams with an artist, photographer who's directing the film. Her name's Shirin Nishat, and she's a brilliant visual artist. And the film follows a young Iranian girl who works for the Census Bureau in America, and all these people she meets along the way, and she sort of has a love interest with my character, and I play an American in it, so you guys are going to hear my American accent. I haven't heard it before. And then, I'm going to be doing that, and then I'll be back at the end of November, beginning of December. That's all it's going. Yeah, and thank you so much, Shayla. I really do appreciate all of your support and, fan page creation. You've done a great job. I don't know how you're a true fan. You've been stuck by me for a long time, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I think, William, she also hasn't really had much sleep. She was saying, because obviously I'm in New Zealand, and I was getting texts, and I was looking at the top, well, not texts, messages, and I was looking at the time, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, she must not be sleeping. So she didn't want to miss it.
Well, you did a good job. I'm here, and you can always direct message me on Instagram and ask me any questions. And that goes for anybody. If you have any questions about Narnia or anything, just go ahead and ask me. The chances are I might just be having a cup of tea, sitting down, and I can just respond right away. So just go for it.
Thank you. Oh my.
So now we have a question from Lucy. So Lucy, what's your question for William?
Okay, I've had to write it down because I'm shaking so much right now because this is so exciting. Okay, so my question is, which Narnia film was more challenging to film for you? Because I was trying to think of a good question, and that was the first one that popped into my head.
Which Narnia film was more challenging for me? I suppose the more challenging film, really, well, the second one was hard in terms of the stunts. I had to do a lot of, chase a galloping horse out of a castle, grab the saddle, kick a guy, land on the ground, and then land on the horse, and then ride out. So that was quite challenging. But I think because it was my first movie, the first one was quite challenging. You know, I'd never been on a proper film set before. I'd never had a speaking part, really. Like, I'd never done anything, you know, and I was suddenly thrust into this space. And so, to me, it was a bit intimidating at times. I was a bit nervous, you know. So I had to get my nerves to begin with, and luckily everyone was really, like, always made a laugh and set and always had fun, and so it kind of eased the tension. But to begin with, I felt really like, oh my gosh, am I actually here? You know, probably that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for inspiring so many people. This is amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Lucy. So, William,
Thank you.
Have you got a bucket list? What are some of the things that you want to do in your lifetime?
It's a great question. You know, I want to do more. I want to do some more charity work for sure. You know, I don't think I've done as much as I'd like to do. So I'd kind of like to do some more charity work. I'm speaking with a charity on Monday to start doing some work for them. I like, you know, running and cycling. So if I have a bit of a stiff neck, so if I get my stiff neck out, I'd like to do a triathlon, and then I can tie that in to a charity work as well. So I'll be doing charity work and something I like, and I can raise some money for a good cause. So that would be something I'd really like to do. That's very important to me. And also my bucket list, I'd quite like to go skydiving. I don't know if anyone's ever been skydiving, but that's something I want to do. I want to go skydiving. I want to jump out of a plane. That looks pretty amazing. So I'm going to hopefully do that. And I don't know. Yeah, there was something else on my bucket list a while ago. If I remember, I'll tell you. But definitely skydiving's up there. Skydiving's 100% up there.
So when you were in New Zealand filming, did you, because, well, I know you were a lot younger, but we have many different tourist attractions. Did you manage to see any, or, you know, go?
I did everything.
Oh, you did?
Everything you can do in New Zealand. Okay. I've literally probably done it. I think New Zealand has the third highest big bungee jump in the world. I don't know if anyone can prove that, but I think it's true. It's in Queenstown, and I did that one. Oh. It's like a 9-second free fall, which was amazing. I did the whitewater rafting. We did jumped out of the Sky Tower. That was pretty cool. We've done a lot of fun things. Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was really, really, really cool. Yeah. Cool. I love it.
So now we've got a question from McKenna, and McKenna's brother Kane, he actually introduced her to the Chronicles of Narnia, and it's his birthday. So, William, if you could do a big birthday shout out to Kane, that'd be awesome.
Happy birthday, Kane! And I can't tell you how happy I am for you to be part of this discussion. I hope you have a beautiful birthday, enjoying yourself, taking care, sending you all my love.
Oh, and McKenna, we're just trying to unmute McKenna. So sorry.
McKenna, we're going to unmute you.
Oh, we've got it. McKenna, what's your question for William?
Hey, thank you, and I just wanted to ask you, what's your favorite scene in the film and why?
My favorite scene to film. Well, I don't know what everybody's favorite scene is in the movie. Some people like the scene when we first go into Narnia. I don't know if that's like a scene that everybody likes, but I quite liked doing the scene, the battle scenes. I always like those. I don't know if everybody likes those, but they're not really a huge part of the books, but they're a big part of the films. So I really liked doing those. I don't know. Like, what was your favorite scene, Kenna?
Mine was honestly like the action scenes, because like it's just so crazy how everybody's like doing everything all at once, and I don't know how you guys put that all together, but it's amazing.
Well, it's very simple how we put it together. Actually, sounds simple. It's really not actually, but it takes a lot of people, and it's a bit like a choreographed dance. Have you ever seen those videos in like where people suddenly like stop in a train station and then like they all start dancing. Like music comes on. I forgot what that's called, but it's a bit like that. Like everybody knows their dance moves, sort of thing. Like so, one guy will know that he's got to go like this, 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 and then another guy knows that he's got like this, so he's going to do that, that, and that, and then everybody has their little thing. So it's like a big sort of choreographed dance. And then once you film it all together, it looks amazing. It looks like this full battle scene going on, but nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's out of control. Everybody knows what they're doing. And then they call cut, and then we stop and we go back to the first dance move again, and then we do it all again. We do that for about 6 weeks. It takes about, I don't know if you guys remember the castle raid scene in Prince Caspian, which was shot at night. We shot that for 6 weeks, all at night. So we had to do night shoots for 6 weeks. I'd wake up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I would finish it 7 o'clock every morning. And it took 6 weeks to film that one fight scene in the castle courtyard in Prince Caspian. So that's fun. Yeah. Any other questions since it's your birthday? I'm going to give you a double whammy.
No, thank you, but thank you for answering.
No problem. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So, William, who is someone that you admire and why?
Well, I'm going to do a huge name drop here, okay. Everyone? I'm going to do a massive, massive name drop.
Is it your mum?
Well, you might have heard of him. A little actor called Brad Pitt. Actually asked me for a picture once. So that was, his kids love Narnia. I never knew this. His kids love Narnia. So, and Brad Pitt watches Narnia all the time with his children. And so he asked me to take a picture with him for his kids. And since the very beginning, I have always been a massive fan of Brad Pitt's. If he was doing one of these Zoom meeting things, I'd be on it, basically. Like I would be like, I'd have 8 different questions to ask him, and they'd only allow me one. But I love him. I love his work, and I love all of his movies from, obviously Fight Club to like Meet Joe Black. A River Runs Through It, like all these great films he's done, even when he was younger. So for me, that was someone who I look up to, who kind of like blew me away.
Oh, very exciting. So now we have a question from Gina. So
okay,
Gina, what's your question for William?
Yes, hi William.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, it's 4:18 in the morning here. So
my God, thank you for getting up. I'm sorry it's so early.
No worries. My question to you is, what has been your toughest role as an actor?
One of my toughest roles was in The Courier.
Okay.
This film I shot last year, or that was released last year. It was an action movie, and I played a killer in it. And I only shot for 4 days, but I felt like I needed 4 weeks to recover because I just put so much energy into this part that I was doing press-ups on set all day. I probably did 1,000 press-ups in the day. I was jumping up and down. I was, running backwards and forwards, and I was sweating, and I must have been sweating for about 9 or 10 hours just to keep the energy up for this character. And so by the end of the 4 days, I felt like I'd been through boot camp. I really felt like my body could not do another press up, not another jumping jack. So that was really tough. But actually, I was really happy with the result of the film and the result of the character. It's really quite out there and very different to anything I've played before. But I just loved it. I just had fun doing it. So it all paid off in the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
William, now we have a question from Sheila.
Okay.
So Sheila, we're just going to unmute you, and hopefully, what's your question for William?
Hi, William. So lovely to meet you.
Hi, Sheila.
Right. My question is for you that you have plenty of projects before, and you portray different characters. So my question is, which of them made a big impact in your life?
Well, really, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe made the biggest impact in my life. I mean, it started my career It was something that just, I don't know if anybody knows how I was cast, but it's the craziest story. I'm not, like I said, I'm not from London. I'm from a small village way out in the middle of like a valley. Like it's like basically farmland. And when I was a child, I went to the village school, and they were making a BBC film. They were looking for kids, and they just sort of pulled me out of this like rung of children, and they sort of asked me to do some things like, like in an audition sort of thing, but pretend that you're a chef or pretend that you're a fisherman. It was like kids' fun stuff, and I just thought, this is great. I love this. This seems like a fun job. I didn't really think this was a job that you could do this. So like fun, and they helped me to get an agent, and then I suppose maybe 5 or 6 years later, that same person remembered me for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and said, "Oh, that guy, how old is he now? Like, just get him in here." So I just went in, and then I just got The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So it was all this very odd kind of mix of things coming together, and that part in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is really, well, I'm here talking to you guys now. It's really one of those very special kind of things that happen. So definitely that one.
Thank you.
I hope that answers your question. Does that answer your question? That's a very roundabout way. I did a politician's kind of answer, but I hope that sort of answers your question.
I'm happy that you answered about Narnia.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, William, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? Can be about anything.
All right, so I was thinking about this one. So I'm going to say, this sounds really mad, but I had a squash coach at school, right? And I was terrible at squash, so I don't even know why this guy was talking to me. But it was right after I got The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I was at school, and I was with the squash teacher, funnily enough, and he was really a great guy. Actually, he really helped a lot of Olympic squash players get to the level and do all these incredible things. And he said to me, he said, "Will, never forget where you came from. Always remember where you came from." And I, at the time, being 17, I thought, well, I'm never going to forget where I came from. What a weird piece of advice, that's I know where I came from. I'm not going to forget. But now, that I got older, I was like, oh, I got it. Yeah. So, obviously, that to me is everything. It's like that old Shakespeare thing: to thine own self be true. No matter what you see, who you meet, where you go, whatever you do in your life, you have to always be you, to your core. You have to be you. You can never compromise yourself. And people go, and as many highs as we have in life, we often have lows. People go through hard times. But if you know where you came from, if you know what your family is, and your true friends are, people there that actually care about you, they will be there through the good times and the not so good times. So to me, that's the best piece of advice I've ever been given.
Do you remember his name?
Not offhand.
But his advice was great. And I still remember, I don't even remember his name, but I still remember his face and him saying it to me. I remember it so clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Elizabeth. So, Elizabeth, what's your question for William?
My question is, what has been the biggest challenge you've done to prepare for a movie?
Biggest challenge I've done to prepare for a movie is, for sure, Prince Caspian. I trained with a boxing trainer for 4 months before shooting the movie. I went to horse riding lessons every day. I went to acting classes in New York. I was living in New York. I went to acting class every single day almost, to work on the film, to work on the character. And I really worked, for lack of a better term, my ass off for 4 months. So, because I knew that I was going to have to, essentially kind of, with Ben Barnes, who played Prince Caspian, we were going to have to sort of hold the movie together. So I knew that it was going to be on me as much as him. And so I worked really, really hard. and I learned a lot about acting that time. I worked with an acting coach called Sheila Gray, and she's an amazing coach, and she taught me so much in such a short amount of time that it kind of changed me, and made me a much better actor. Training for Prince Caspian, and then I learned all these horse moves, and like I said, one day I was on set, and Andrew Adamson, the director, he used to show us what's called previs. I don't know if anybody knows what previs is, but it's basically it's like a storyboard of the film, but it looks like a computer game, like it's like a kind of a visual form of the film. One day he showed me this thing where my character was chasing a galloping horse, kicking a guy, and then jumping on the horse and riding out of the castle. And he turns to me and he goes, "You're going to, this is going to be my best New Zealand accent, Linda." He goes, "William, you're going to do that." And I was like, "Andrew," he's like, "You're going to do that. You're going to learn to do that in 2 weeks." And I was like, okay. So then I just started training at that, and luckily it worked out. Luckily it worked out. So, but that was full on. But Andrew always pushed me and made me, better. Always made me better.
I must say, William, that sounded
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I must say that kind of sounded more like an Australian accent.
Sorry, I know. I need to go back to New Zealand. Need to go back to New Zealand and get better at my accent. My accent's horrible right now. Oh, Belinda, look, I'm going to say, we can go over. We can go till, if everybody's happy to go over, we can go over till 11. It's totally fine. If you have time.
Oh, no, absolutely. So, sorry, is that another, I'm getting confused. Oh, yeah, so another 30 minutes?
Another 30 minutes, absolutely, it's fine. It's totally
fine. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to know, what's your favourite quote?
My favourite quote, which I wish I could follow more often, is go placidly amid the noise and remember what peace there may be in silence. It's from Desiderata. I may have misquoted it, but it's this. It was written in Baltimore. There's a church there, and it's a piece from the 1600s, and it's a very long piece. But basically, it will give you like every life lesson you need. If you ever like feel stressed, you ever like not knowing where your direction is, or whatever. If you just get that Desiderata piece, like you will kind of it will give you something to like ground down next to.
I am going to find that once we get off here, and I will print it out for myself and my two lovely friends who are helping me, because we often need some reminders. I'm just looking at them and they're just nodding their heads.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, yes.
Yeah, totally. It's a beautiful piece of writing. So I love it. I need one in my house. I'm going to put one up in my house just to like look at it in the morning, like subliminal messaging.
So the next question is now Carly. So Carly, what's your question for? And I'm sorry, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name. Carly, what's your question for William?
I just want to say that William, you've inspired me for 2 years now, and this is just amazing that I'm actually here and stuff.
Oh, don't be silly, don't be silly. I'm so happy that you're on and that we are having a chat.
Oh my god.
What's your question?
My question is, what actually got you into wanting to become an actor?
Well, I always had a lot of energy. I've always had a lot of energy, so I needed to probably find a job, either an athletic job where I was just running all day, every day, or something like acting where, you're sort of buzzing about and you've got a lot of scenes to remember and you've got a lot of places to do and things like that. So fortunately, acting came along for me, and it was just at I was just like at my little primary school in England, and they just like I said before, they were just looking for kids for this local BBC production, and I just went through the process of that and just enjoyed it. Thought it was fun, and it all just kind of came together. I remember like that's when I wanted to be an actor, I think, I never wanted to do acting for the fame or the money or any of those other reasons. That's never been, everybody has to live. You have to pay rent, but I only ever did it because I love it, So I've only done it because I just love it. I think it's fun.
I just want to say that that like it's amazing that I'm actually here, and like my dream has always been to just like have like at least like a 5-minute conversation with you, and I'm actually having like a whole hour one with you right now, and it's just, oh my god, you inspire me so much to become an actor myself.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that question. Like, how do I become an actor? What do I do? So I love acting and I want to like try it. Well, what's amazing about nowadays is that anybody can get a camera. We get your phone. You get your phone out and you can make your own film, and you can edit it on. You can almost edit it on your phone now. You can put your friends in it, and you can write it, and you can upload it to YouTube, and you can. People will watch it, and you'll have an audience, and you can then do what I'm doing and respond back to your fans, and it's very straightforward nowadays. That you don't want to ever hear the word no. Just think yes, yes, yes. I can, and I will. And that way, you can do amazing things with your life and things that are fun. More than anything else. So that's my advice. Get cracking.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, William, we've also got a number of people who are watching this live, so they've got some questions. So one of my friends is just writing them down. But if you could just say hello to all the people watching live, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Hello, everyone watching live. I just wanted to thank you all for joining this Zoom meeting today. It's a real pleasure to answer your questions. I always love talking about Narnia, and I know it means so much to everybody. It means a lot to me, so I'm really happy to answer anything you have on your mind. Remember to keep it PG, keep it to kids' films. We don't want any weird questions coming out, so ask me anything you want. So I'm always happy, I'm always here. And like I said before, you can always direct message me. Just direct message me on Instagram, ask me what you want, and chances are, like I said before, I might just pick up my phone and have a cup of tea, and I'll answer you. So go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we've got Yuna, and hopefully I'm saying her name correctly. Yuna from Indonesia.
Hi.
Hi. Yuna, have
Hi,
you
Yuna.
got a question?
Hi.
Where are you? I don't see you on this thing.
Are you?
I am.
Can you?
I don't know.
Are you on speaker?
Oh, there you are. I see you. You have a still picture.
I'm on a still pic. Yes, correctly.
You're hiding away. Everyone else is exposing.
I'm hiding away.
Including you. You're hiding away.
That's very
mean.
I didn't thought that Belinda will put me on for the question.
Okay, that's all right. All right. So what's your question? Hit me.
My question is, okay, where are you gonna see yourself in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I'm going to do a lot of work. In the next 10 years, I want to do work that I'm really proud of. This next film I'm making, I'm really proud to be a part of it. I want to make things that I'm like that was really good. That really sent positive energy into the world. It did something good for people. It something that I'm proud of to be a part of. And and I want to do things like that. And like I said before, I want to do more charity work. I want to do a triathlon. I want to, and I want to have fun. Most importantly, life is about having fun. You don't want to take the whole thing too seriously. I think our minds get tricked a little bit. We have to be careful. We go to school and it's all very strict, and you have to study, and then we have a job, and we have to listen to our boss, and we have to study with that, and then we have to listen to our kids, and we have to study with that, and we have to listen to our partner, and we have to study with that. There's a lot of studying. There's a lot of work going on. But the thing is, you just want to make sure that you're having fun, and make sure that you're enjoying your life. You only get one life. You've got to live it. You've got to make the most of it. You never know when it's going to end. You know, we all have a ticking clock over our heads, and that could stop at any point. So we have to have fun. So for the next 10 years, I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have a laugh, and I'm going to make the most of what's going on now as well.
Great. I wish you a lot of fun then.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
So, William, this next question is one of the viewers who's watching it live on YouTube, Daniela. She has said that you went to the Philippines in 2017. Do you want to go back there and make a movie and shoot it there? And she says, by the way, she loves you.
What's her name, sorry?
Daniela.
Well, Daniela, thank you very much. Love you back. You know, I would love to go to Philippines again. Philippines, I don't know if anybody else has been there, but it is absolutely stunning. You know, it's a really beautiful, pretty unspoiled country. So if ever there was a chance to go back and make a film, I definitely would. I actually want to go surfing there. I want to go surfing there, and I want to go scuba diving there. I've got my scuba diving license, so I'd like to get out and hit some of those islands and get some diving in, definitely.
Thank you. I was a huge fan, or am a huge fan of the Royals. I loved you as Prince Liam.
Thank you so much.
And I was gutted that it just stopped. I think you got to season 5, was it?
Season 4.
Oh,
yeah,
season 4. Yeah. There must have been some crazy. I mean, the fast cars, the jets. What did you enjoy most about making that TV series? I did. I loved it. And I see that 2 of the co-stars have just got engaged as well.
That's right.
Yes.
Alex and James.
Yes.
Well, James was an actor on One Tree Hill.
Yes.
Great actor.
Yeah.
And Alex was obviously one of the stars of the Royals.
She's gorgeous.
And so they ended up, James ended up directing some of our episodes.
Okay.
He did a brilliant job, and they just ended up falling in love, really like love at first sight. So they're getting engaged, which is fantastic, and they have a few things ticking around themselves that I'm not really allowed to talk about, but they're doing very well. And then in terms of what I was sad that the show ended so abruptly as well. There was. There were a lot of things going on at that time that were out of our control that we couldn't, I didn't know what was, when you're an actor, you just sort of do what you're told a lot, to be honest with you. So I didn't know what the logistics were behind the scenes. But in terms of my favourite thing to shoot, because there was a lot of glamour on the show, a lot of glam, and a lot of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yes. Like, PG style, everybody. I mean, it wasn't that PG, but some of it was. And then for me, my favourite thing was I got to learn to play polo.
Oh. In
the first episode of season 3, and that was just so fun. I love horses, as you guys know from the Narnia films, and so I could ride. And they gave me polo lessons, and they taught me how to hit the ball with the mallet. And I have to say, it was so fun. I'm a bit of a I hate to say this. This is probably one of my flaws. I'm just going to reveal to everyone right now. I just love seeing myself on a horse. I just love it. I just think I look really great on a horse. So, I'm just very happy to any time I do a film on a horse, I'm like, I just love myself on a horse. So, it's a great ego boost for me to ride around, and I feel like some sort of champion when I'm on a horse. There's something quite archaic about it, but that's one of my little flaws, one of my little things. So any chance to be on a horse was great, and polo was just the icing on the cake.
Brilliant. William, so this is another question from a viewer with a YouTube username Magic of Narnia, and they would like to know: do you still keep in touch with the castmates, Anna and Georgie? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely, all the time. I've seen Anna really recently. She's great. She's doing really well. Georgie's from the north of England. She's coming down to London, so I'm going to see her for tea. Maybe on Monday, actually. Maybe on Monday I see Georgie, which would be nice. I think lockdown's been very hard for anybody to meet up. And I don't know about all of you guys, but we in your countries, but here in England, it's been quite mental. You know, you really cannot go out and see anybody. Like for like a while, we couldn't see anyone, and you go and see your immediate family, and there's people who are at high risk and all that sort of thing. So I have to be a bit careful. But yeah, we'll see Georgie, and I hopefully see her on Monday. She's like that little light inside me. She's like a little little light. There's always like a light that burns for me, burns for her in me with Georgie. So yeah, I'll see her on Monday hopefully.
That must be really lovely. You've been friends and colleagues for such a long time now, so no doubt that friendship will continue to grow. Yeah,
it will. You know, we're going to be friends for life. There's certain people that come into your life and they stay, and those people are there.
So this question here is from Jessica. So Jessica was meant to be on the Zoom call with us, but I'm not quite sure. She is in Texas. So, but her question was for you. Is there anything new that you've learned about yourself during this pandemic?
Well, that's a great question. We were just talking about the pandemic, so it's a great question. I don't know how everybody else has felt out there, but for me, I felt that I've had to be a lot calmer. I felt that I've had to really take things in my stride a bit more. I very much like to attack, life and get out there and do this and do that, and but you haven't been able to. You just can't. So I've had to learn to be at peace with things. Peace with myself, peace with what's happening in the world, to be patient, and just to be a lot calmer. So that's actually been a really good thing for me. It's been very grounding and it's been very good. I felt like I've been on a bit of a whirlwind for 15 years. This is the first time that I've actually been forced to stop and just sort of come down to earth, I guess, and just find that sort of calmness. So I don't know how everybody else has been dealing with it. I know people have been dealing with a lot of anxiety and a lot of, some people have been depressed and some people have been struggling to understand their emotions during this time, and they've not had great opportunities with their jobs and all that sort of thing. But again, it's like some things are out of our control. You should talk to your local, council, I don't know, your constituents, whatever they are, people that can help you financially if you need help, and in terms of emotional support, reach out to those people that you care about, Zoom with them, get on and talk to them, open yourself up. And I have a friend that actually journals a lot. She writes down her feelings all the time, so she writes it all down, and then she just sort of like gets it out. So I've never tried that, but I know it helps, and I know it works. So if you ever need to like release whatever you feel inside yourself, you can always just journal. So yeah.
And now this is from Wendy, who is watching us live, and she has said, can she please get a shout out to her sister? It's her birthday. Her name is Elizabeth, and she is a huge fan.
Get a shout out. Her name's Elizabeth.
Yes, it's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Elizabeth. I hope you have the most beautiful, wonderful day. Enjoy yourself, relax. Make the most of it. It's a Saturday, whatever hell time it is. In New Zealand, I think it's like 10 o'clock at night right now, isn't it?
It's shortly, it's 9:45,
yeah. And so... Well, Glenn, thank you so much for getting up, really. Actually, I should have thought about listening to that.
No, not at all. I'm just, I'm so happy.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good.
So we've got Purple Lily Lights. She's also watching us live, and she would like to know, what was your reaction when you got the news? You got the role in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and where were you? When you got the news?
I was in my parents' cottage in the countryside, and I got the call, and I just remember the director and the producer on the phone, and I just remember the producer, he told me I got the part, then he sort of said to me about 20 things that I really should have listened to, but I couldn't hear any of them. I just sort of just kept saying yes, you know, yeah. Like he was saying to me, look, we're going to be flying you out. You need to remember that you have to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And I literally couldn't hear them. I couldn't hear those questions. Like, it was like my brain sort of shut down. I just kept saying yeah, and then I got off the phone, and I just felt like I really truly did felt like my life was about to change forever, and it did, you know. So it was a moment I'll never forget, for sure.
William, I was reading one of an interview, and it talked about the fact that you like taking well, back then it said that you've got a camera and you like taking photos of people and people watching. Do you still do that?
Yeah, I love doing that, actually. Yeah. You know, this sounds really weird. I sound like some mental person, but I used to like taking pictures when I was younger. I used to like taking pictures of people without them knowing, you know? So like I'd try to like catch them like in the street, like I'd like carry a camera like that, and then I just try to like snap somebody just so I could just see that sounds really crazy, but I used to try to see if I could see their raw self without them posing, without them like thinking about anything, without them like just going about their daily life, you know, whoever they were. Do you know, I kind of wouldn't do it now, funnily enough. I really don't think I'd do it now. I used to do it about 10, 15 years ago. I wouldn't do it now because I think people would get, if they saw you do it, I think they get so irate. So I don't think I do now. But yeah, I do. I love that. I love those old films, like those 70s sort of style films where it's very raw and you don't feel like the people are actors in the movie. And there's this kind of rawness to it. You know, we live in a very, funnily enough, although we're more free, I guess, we live in a much more controlled world, I think, than we used to. You know, with your phone, you're sort of constantly able to like get in on something or learn or like be right at someone's door or right at someone's phone, right at someone's fingertips, like instantly, you know. Whereas, you know, that in some ways that's not that free. In some ways that's it's quite controlled society now in a lot of ways, even in the last 15 years. So since the phones have taken over, so yeah, I definitely wouldn't go around snapping people now.
If it wasn't for this pandemic, have you got any countries that you would love to visit or revisit?
Yeah, I would. You know, I have a whole list of countries. I really want to go to India at some point. I heard it's beautiful, and I would love to see India. I'd love to go. My sister's actually going to Greece. She's getting out of the English winter. Lucky her, and she's going off to Greece, and she's like leaving behind all of us here in the rain and the darkness. Though I might be in New Mexico, so that's fine. But she's going off to Greece, and I've never been there. I don't know if anybody else has been there, but I hear it's really, really beautiful, and the history. I don't know if anybody knows about the history of Greece, but obviously, like, that is unbelievable. So I'll, you know, hopefully go out there and look at some broken old stones and go for a swim in the sea.
William, this is a question from Green Rose, who is watching us live. She has asked, do you have any phobias, and how do you manage them?
You know, I have a phobia of small spaces, and I don't know if anybody else has that sort of claustrophobia, but it's really, actually, I sometimes get it on planes. And you know, where you can't get out of this like tin can that's moving at 500 miles an hour, like it's a horrible feeling, you know, and you suddenly feel really closed in, and so I have to kind of talk my way out of it. And I'll tell you a funny story. I went to traveling in Vietnam. I don't know if anybody else has been to Vietnam. It's very close near in Southeast Asia. It's quite close. Is it close to New Zealand? I guess it's not that far. No, not. I sort of think Southeast Asia, like, is always close to New Zealand. It's not. But they have these things called the Cooch tunnels, and you can go in them, and you can kind of see where the Viet Cong like fought the Americans, and you go down these tunnels, and really cool. And the tour guide asked me if I wanted to go in one, like, you know, with a friend, and my friend was there, and I didn't want to look like a baby and say no, I'm going to get claustrophobic if I go down this tunnel. So I was like, okay, sure, we'll go. And I was actually inside, my heart rate just started to get really intense. I started to sweat and I started to feel really unwell. But I was like, no, it's going to be fine. And the tour guide said to us, he goes, okay, you go straight, you go right, you go straight, you go right, you go left, you go straight, you go right, you go left, you go straight. And we were like, he's like, you go any other way, you're going to get lost. People get lost down there. You go any other way. But my friend was looking at me like, yeah, Will, we're going to do it. It's going to be cool. Like, come on, Will, come on. I was like, so I got in the tunnel, and we were literally like this, like crawling along like this, through this tunnel. And there were bats flying back and forth, which we weren't told about. And we were down there for about 40 minutes, or about an hour in this tiny tunnel like this. And I really thought I was going to have a panic attack, but I couldn't. I couldn't have a panic attack because I couldn't go backwards. I didn't know which way was left or right or straight or what. I was just like, it was horrifying, actually. And it was black. There were no lights out. It was black. But fortunately, we made it out and it was fine. And in a funny way, though, it sort of made me fight that fear. It kind of made me conquer that kind of thing. Like, I know that I did that. So they say you have to face your fears, like a fear of heights. I guess you have to go look off the Empire State Building or something. But, I mean, that for me was it was horrifying. It's about as close as I can get to a phobia.
William, we had Katrina, who's from the Czech Republic, and she really wanted to join in today, but her mother has, a couple of days ago, she had surgery, so she's looking after her mother and her father's ill as well, and she's got 4 younger brothers, and so she just wanted to say hello and that she was a huge fan. So if you could give a shout out to Katrina, from Czech
Loved
Republic.
your mum, truly.
And she also she wanted to know if you what you enjoyed when you were in Prague. Were you in Prague?
Yeah, I shot in Prague for 5 months. Yeah. I've shot 3 movies in Prague.
Oh, right.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
I've shot Prince Caspian, shot Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe a little bit, and I shot a movie called Medieval. Prague is one of the most beautiful cities. If anyone's ever been to Prague or never been, you should go. It's absolutely stunning. The beginning of Prince Caspian, the scene when Georgie and Anna, Lucy and Susan, when they're running across the road and there's all the cars and they're beeping and there's the 2 lions. I don't know if you remember the 2 lions before they go into the subway station. That's actually shot in London. That's shot in the centre of Prague. We close on the street in Prague, and that's shot in the centre of Prague. So if ever you go, you'll know that you'll see those 2 lions. They're sort of by the water, by the big town hall building. They're literally right there, and you'll see that that sort of Aslan thing is actually in Prague. I love Prague. They have these pretty parks all over the city. These rose gardens, and they have it's just an absolute. And actually, outside of Prague, in the Czech Republic, all the castles there is absolutely amazing. So very fortunate to film there.
We've got an interesting question from Sheila, who's also watching live. She has asked, if someone gave you a superpower, what would it be? Or what would you like your superpower to be?
A superpower. God, I never really thought about that. But I don't want to say flying because everybody says flying. Obviously that would be cool. But what about a superpower where you're just like, this is where my competitive spirit comes out.
Okay.
What about a superpower where you're just amazing at everything? You're just like, suddenly you play tennis and you're the best, you're like better than Roger Federer. Like suddenly you go surfing and you're just the best surfer anyone's ever seen. Or suddenly you just so I can beat everyone at everything. And then, or you suddenly play chess and you're like a chess wizard. You have the ability to like take on the mind body of an expert, at that field. That'd be quite cool. Like, I just would love to, like, you've ever seen the movie where the guy, rolls up to like the bar and everyone's like thinking he's going to be really bad at pool or something, and suddenly he just whips and, like that sort of thing. That would be cool.
I have never heard that answer before, but I'm loving that superpower. That would be amazing.
Well, it would be good for your eyes thing as well. You could be like, suddenly you'd be amazing at it. You would just like, all the guys were like, this girl's not going to be any good. She's going to be lame. Like,
no.
Women can't do that. And then you just beat them all.
No. Where I work, I'm very competitive, and both of my friends are nodding, and I take on the boys and yes.
Oh, you do? Maybe you don't need that superpower.
No, but chess, I'd need it then. I can't play chess.
Yeah, exactly.
William, thank you so much for chatting today.
Oh yeah. I'm just wondering if there's anything else. You want to get 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes is fine. You can ask me ask me a couple more questions, and then we're done. Totally fine.
That is awesome. What I'm going to do is, is there anyone else, and I'm not quite sure, could you just put your hand up, because we can see you. Have you got another question for William? I should have said that ages ago. Sorry. Vanessa, I see your hand. Have you got another question? Because it's silly o'clock where you are.
Oh, that's okay. So William, I just wanted to ask you, since you are such an amazing actor and you have so much experience on sets, have you ever had an interest in other roles of filmmaking, like directing, for example?
Yeah, well, actually I have. I had an interest in producing. I worked with a friend on a book before to help it get made, and it was a very interesting process. I didn't know anything about it, and so I learned how you have to know everything about this story that you're trying to tell, this character. You have to read all the books. And I've just been preparing for a film, and then when you go and pitch the project, or they want it, then you can talk about it, and you can say, well, we'd like to think about this person for that, and this thing for that, we'd like this and this and this. And I really liked it. I thought it used that sort of right side of the brain. I think that's the right part of the brain I'm thinking. But yeah, it was very interesting, and I would be happy to produce in the future. That'd be very. I just like the aspect of putting things together and reading, and it was very cool.
Thank you, and I just want to say thank you for being so open and candid today, and just show my appreciation for you bringing Peter to life. He's one of my favorite characters in books and, of course, movies. So thank you, and thank you for being so inspiring to me and so many others.
That's really sweet of you. Thank you so much.
Carly, you had another question for William.
Yes, I did. That was not funny. Okay, so basically, I was wondering, can we ask questions about the royals as well, or is it just like Narnia?
Yeah, of course you can. You can ask questions about
the how awkward was it to
remember this is PG?
The scene with
PG. Remember PG?
Oh crap!
I told you it had to be PG.
All right. How was it working with Ben Barnes in the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian?
It was really fun. Ben came into the movie having been a very experienced actor. So working with him was really, really interesting, and he taught me a lot. I was, really. It was a very long process for them to find Prince Caspian. We screen tested a lot of actors, and then Ben came in at the very last minute, and he was absolutely the right person to play that part. I see pictures of him now when he was younger, and in that film, and he was beautiful, and he looked amazing, and he was great, and it must have been a lot for him, and he's really funny, Ben, which is great. He's totally blended into our dynamic. It's quite a lot, because we were these sort of kids that everybody knew, and we had our own thing going on. To him come in, it's quite a lot. So he did really well, and he was really fun, and he made me laugh, and yeah, it was great. We had a lot of good times.
I just want to say thank you for so much that you've done for me over the 2 years I've been looking up to you. You've brought me so much joy into my life, and whenever I watch your interviews and stuff, I'll smile and stuff.
I'm really happy. That makes me really happy to hear. Yeah, well, I think that's really the best part of my job. Is it if I can, if you can make people feel a bit better, decently. You have fun and they have fun. That's the trick of life, really, isn't it? You can have fun and other people have fun, and that's hopefully I'll keep making movies like that. I've been watching a movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. Mulan on Disney. I'm not paid to say that. I just liked the movie, and I just thought it was really good. And that's the kind of thing that I think brings hope to people, and it's a positive message. So if you get the chance at some point down the line, I would highly recommend that film. It's got a great meaning in it as well, and it's entertainment. It will really lift you up. So I would definitely go for that. It's much like Narnia.
And we'll just have one last question. Sheila. Oh, well, sorry, Sheila. We'll just unmute you. What's your other question?
My other question is, what other skills or talent did you discover on yourself while we're on quarantine?
Sorry, can you ask me that one more time? Sorry.
What other skills or talent, like do you love cooking or baking? Well, we're on quarantine.
Do you know, I've learned one skill about myself I really didn't know, and that is I'm a very good, well, I wouldn't say very good, but I'm a painter. I've actually painted almost 20 rooms since the beginning of lockdown. I've painted almost my entire parents' house. I've painted my home. I've painted one of my grandma's rooms. I've painted another one of my other grandparents' rooms. I've been painting a lot. So I've learned that I can paint things. So I don't know if that really counts as skills. It's just throwing
it does.
Paint up on. But it's exhausting, I say that. It is absolutely exhausting. So I've been doing a lot of painting, and that's about it. I've been learning the lines for my new movie. That's about it.
Hey, William,
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out. Honestly, for the past week, I've had emails from a lot of these people who are on screen and who are also watching live, and you really have made their day. And so I also want to thank your team, William. So I've been communicating with Rachel and Annie, and they have been amazing. And I need to thank Shelley and Karen, who are my good friends, and they are doing the technical side of things and writing stuff down. And the audience, the fans, thank you so much for joining in. It's been awesome, and it's really made my day as well. So thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you guys so much for being on this. Like, I wouldn't get to do what I love to do without all of you. You make it happen, you truly do. Like I get to do the job I love because of you. And I really, truly appreciate that. And I respect that. I understand that. And so, whatever we can do in the future, we'll be doing. We can do more of these. We can do these, and you can always, like I said, ask me questions on Instagram. We can do these regularly. I'm very happy to. And beyond anything else, I'm very impressed with all of your guys' commitment, getting up at all hours of the day. I do not. For Brad Pitt, Gina, I know you're up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning right now. I don't know if I'd have been up for Brad Pitt at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I have a massive respect for you. Massive, massive, massive respect. So thank you so much, truly, for getting up early, because I hate getting up early. I hate being tired. So yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for your good questions that were all PG as well, which was great. We kept it very kid-friendly, which is always good. So thank you so much to all of you, and Belinda as well. You've made this so seamless and so easy. And we can do this again in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. I just want to let everyone know that, so the link that I sent, the live YouTube link, you can go back and rewatch this interview. And when you rewatch it, it will have a different view. So it looks way cooler, and that's thanks to Karen, my techno genius. Oh, she's sitting in the corner. So when you watch it, you'll see William in this big shot, and then you guys as well. So make sure you check it out. I just need to edit a little bit, but the link that I sent you, please, watch it, share it, and
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, thank you very much, William, and I hope we can do this again soon.
Well, we'll do this again. Absolutely, 100%.
Brilliant. All right.
Guys, thank you so much. Have a great day or night.
Or go to bed or wake up. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Take care.
See
All right,
ya.
bye.
Bye.